Hello everybody and welcome to today's Pilates class. The one piece of equipment I'll be using today is a short band and mine is just a medium resistance. So we're going to get started with some core, some ab activation work. Now we're going to be doing 3 rounds worth of these exercises. Let's use the first round to go nice and slow. We're going to try and build a little bit more awareness about where our body should be when we are doing some ab work. Okay, so you do feel the front of your abs, your core here, rather than feeling the lower back. Okay, so it is normal to feel your lower back in some of the exercises, but for some of them we want to be able to take that tension out, draw it to the front and work on our rib to hip connection. Okay, so our T-zone activation. So what we're going to start with is just a normal sit-up. We don't need the band for this one yet. So we're going to start by laying flat on your back. And we're doing a 3-part sit-up and we've got 16 reps, okay? So rolling all the way down, we're just going to clasp the fingers together and then place the hands behind your head, and you want to hang your head into your hands, okay? So we're taking any of the tension out of our front neck flexors here, okay, and hanging out with the hands. So we're going to draw with our rib cage towards our hips and we're imprinting your spine, so where you remove the gap from the lower back and the floor. And we're going to lift the chest up first. So imagine it's just the head and then just the upper part of your shoulders lifting up. This is 1. Then we're going to try and lift up, touch higher off the shoulder blades, 2. And then as high as you can, 3. Controlling it all the way down. Okay, so our aim is to use no momentum. Okay, so with momentum, I can rise all the way up and then draw all the way down. With this one, we're pausing in each position to build our strength in those static positions there that are a little bit harder to hold. Okay, so we're going to start with our first rep, 16 here. Let's take a deep breath in. Feet are in line with your hip bones, and let's go up 3, 2, 1. Controlling straight down, back into it. 3, 1. Controlling down, that's 2. Try and keep your elbows out to the side. 4. So making sure we're not just collapsing down after each rep, you're controlling down through the spine. 'We have 6 more. Still in our 3-part sit-up. 5 more here. Keep drawing your lower back to the floor. 2 more. Okay, and last one. 3, 2, dropping it all the way down. Okay, so our next exercise, we're going to be alternating either side here. So we're going to come up into just your end range of that sit-up, so where you're reaching to on your 3rd count. So rising up, okay, and then we're going to reach the same hand to the leg, pulling the ribcage down towards your hips, swiveling through the upper body, and we're holding for 3, 2, 1, back to the center. You can reset or you can stay up. It's up to you. Swivel, 3, 2, 1, center. Let's keep it going. And other side. 3, 1, and center. Reaching, 3, 2, 1. That's 4. Keep it going for 16. And 6. 7, Keep using your breath. Second last one. And last one here. Lowering back down. Okay, so for the next exercise, you can leave your hands behind your head, and we're going to lift one leg up to a tabletop position. Now you have two options here. You can either leave the other leg bent and have the foot flat on the floor. This is your lower impact option for your lower back. Okay, otherwise the second option here is to extend the other leg away. Okay, and we're going to point both of our feet. And now we're going to be lifting your chest up, keeping one leg up. So we're going to draw a rib cage towards your hips, imprint your spine. And now while we're up in our sit-up position, we're going to lift the other leg to tabletop and then extend the other leg away, lower the chest back down. Okay, so that's one rep. Let's go lift, extend and swap. 2, 3, 5, controlling as we drop down. 6 more. 3. Second last one. I'm hoping that your core starts to feel a little bit warmer now. And last one. And lower. Okay, the next one we're just going to release the hands and you can place them just next to your hips on the floor. And now we're going to go into a cross-legged frog position. So the first position is starting in a frog. So you bring your feet together and your knees drop out to the side. And now we're just going to pick up one foot and place it on top of the other leg. Doesn't matter what one, we're going to be swapping after 8 counts here. Okay, now I want you just to push into the floor with the hands and lift the feet up. Keep pushing the knees out to the side. Now, you're only going to lower your legs as far as you can maintain an imprinted spine here, okay? So where you remove the gap from the lower back and the floor. So we're going to take the legs down towards the floor here, and your range is going to be very individualized to your awareness of keeping that imprint. Sometimes you might have a little bit more extension than others, so it's harder to get your back flat, but as long as it's not hurting your back and it's working your core, that's the main thing. Okay, so let's do 8 with one leg and then we'll do 8 with the other leg on top. So lower down, controlling and pulling all the way back up, keeping your imprint. That's 8, and swapping legs, and let's do another 8 here. 5, 2, and last one. Okay, drawing it in, have a little breather. Okay, we have 2 more exercises that we're going to be going through. Now, the first one is in a frog position, and then the second one we're going to be doing in a tabletop position as well. Okay, so coming into the frog position, we're going to be doing some hip lifts. So if you start back down on your spine and push the feet together, knees are out to the side here, and we're going to clasp the fingers back behind your head and lift your chest up. And we're going to have a static hold in a sit-up position here. Your option is to have the head flat the whole time, and you can also have the hands on the floor, okay? Otherwise, we're going to be lifting both feet up, and we're just going to be aiming to have a little bit of a rock, lifting the tailbone up off the floor, and then return back to your imprinted frog position. So that was 1, 2. So controlling it as it rolls down. Halfway. Last one, 16. Nicely done. Drawing it in. Okay, and then on the next exercise, we're going to lift both legs up to tabletop position and come up into a sit-up. You can keep your hands behind your head. And now we're going to go extending one leg, pulling it back in, other leg, then lower the chest down. Lifting back up, and let's go. Extend, extend, and lower. Last exercise of this round. 4, 5. Keep using the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. 10 more here. So imagine someone's got a piece of paper underneath your back, and when you're up in your sit-up position and when you return, they shouldn't be able to pull it out. 5 more. 3. 'And last one. Lowering down. Nice work. Okay, you can have a little breather, have a little stretch, grab a drink, do whatever you need to do. We're going to be repeating all of that 2 more times, but this time we're going to pick up our tempo a little bit, and on the last round we're going to be halving the reps, okay? So we've got 16 reps of everything again, and then we'll do 8 reps of everything, and then we're going to be moving on from our ab work, okay? So I'm hoping that you're definitely feeling it through the front of the core here. You might feel your obliques in a couple of them, so that's more so the side muscles through the core. I'm hoping that your neck isn't feeling much tension and your lower back isn't feeling much tension either. Okay, so we're going to start back with the 3-part sit-up, okay, and we're going to be just working through a little bit quicker, okay, so we'll have it flow through, and we still want to control all of our eccentrics for all of the exercises, okay, so that means when you're returning back to your starting position, you don't want to just become passive and then kind of fall into it, okay, and let's get twice as much out of our work and our effort by controlling both halves of each exercise. Okay, so we're going to come back down, and this time it's just going up in 3, 2, 1, lower. Let's keep it going. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Keep imprinting this time. We have 10 more. Two, and last one. Okay, the next exercise we've got coming up, we're going to be reaching same hand as the foot back to the center. 2, 3. Keep squeezing your obliques here. 7. We have 6 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next one, let's extend, or you can keep one leg bent and then pull the other one up into tabletop, and we're going to go into a sit-up, switch, and lower. 2, 3, 4. Let's make sure the leg isn't drawing any closer to your chest than it needs to be in our tabletop position. So you want to try and have the knee stacked directly above your hip. Six more. 4, 3, and last one. Nice. Let's go into our crossed leg lowers. Now we're going to keep the head on the floor for this one if you like, or if you prefer, you can come up into a little sit-up. And let's do 8 on this side. Imprint your spine. Swapping your legs. Keep going. 8, 7, 4, 2, and last one. Nice work. Okay, have a little breather. In the next exercise, we're going to come back into your frog position here, and we've got the hip lifts, rising up, controlling down. Ten more. 3, and 1. Good job. Okay, last exercise, and then we're going to repeat them all again, but half the reps. Lifting our legs up to tabletop. Let's lift the chest up into a sit-up, and then extend one, extend the other, lower down. That was 1. Let's keep going. 16. 10 more, then we're getting a little breather. Keep imprinting the spine, especially once you come up into your sit-up. Five more. 2 more times here. Push through. And last one. Whew. Nice work. Okay, have a little stretch. Grab a drink. Okay, we have one more round of all of these exercises, halving the reps now. We've got our 3 tempo sit up and then the sit up heel reach. Let's do it. So just 8 reps of everything. We're gonna just have no break in between each one. Let's just flow straight into the next one, okay? So let's go hands behind our head and we'll go up 3, 2, 1, lower down, 3, 4 more. And last one here. Okay, and now let's go center. Reach, center, and lower. 2. I love these ones. 3. 5. 7. Last one. 8. And crossed leg. We've got our leg lowers here, either in a sit up or flat, and we've just got 4 on each leg this time. Let's go 4. 2. And 1. I'm hoping that the crossed legs, let's go other side, keeps it out of our hip flexors a little bit, especially if you tend to feel them a lot in our core work. And 1. Okay, and let's go 8 hip lifts with just a normal frog. 8. 3. 1. Okay, coming up, let's extend one leg. One leg is in tabletop and coming up into a sit-up. Reach, swap the legs, and lower. 2. 3. 6. 2 more. And 8. Okay, both legs into tabletop position now, and let's go coming up into a sit-up. Extend, extend, and lower. 2. Last ones for our abs, and we're going into our glutes. 3. 1/2. You can swap what leg you extend with each time if you want to. 3 more. 2. And last one. Lowering down. Nice work. Okay, feel free to have a little stretch, have a drink, and then grab your short band and just have it handy. A good stretch after that ab work there is a little cobra here. Or you could go from a down dog into a cobra or a cat and cow. It's another great option there. Grabbing our short band now, and we're going to place the short band just below your knees. Now the next 3 exercises we're going to be rotating through for 3 rounds, okay, and we're going to keep the band in the same position the whole time. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to start in a 4-point kneel. Now, your first option here for a little less load on your wrists and your quads is to just stay on the knees here rather than tucking the toes, and you can work with a fire hydrant alternating, so where you take one leg out to the side, control it all the way back in, other side, and we're aiming to keep our hips nice and square to the floor, push the shoulders away, creating a nice strong base through the shoulder blades. And we're trying not to hang out into one side more than the other. Okay, so that's your first option. Your second option, if you're going to do the same exercise as me, is to tuck the toes under. Okay, and then we're coming up into a 4-point hover. So we're going to push the knees up off the floor, and now we're going to push the knees out and then control it all the way back in. So we've got abductions with the knees. I'll just show you that from a different angle before we get into it. So what it looks like is you start with them square, and then you just externally rotate, control all the way back in. Okay, so we're working through the sides of our glutes here, and it's your glute medium minor. It feels like the sides of your hips. Okay, and then we're going to be going into a reverse crab position, working with a hip extension, and then a glute bridge, laying flat on our back, and then we'll flip back up and come back into this exercise, okay? So we're going to start with 16 reps. If you're doing the fire hydrants, just do 16 alternating, okay? So coming up into your 4-point kneel, tucking the toes under and hover the knees, round through the spine, and now let's go 16, 2, controlling as it draws back in. Ten more. Three, 2, and 1, controlling down. Now we're going to flip the legs over, bring them out in front of you, and you have two options here. You can either just stay with the second half of this exercise and you'll just be working on some abduction seated the whole time, sitting up and out of the shoulders. Okay, your second option, if you want to progress, is to add a reverse crab. So your hands can be facing whatever way is comfortable for you. And we want to have the feet extended away, so we don't want to start with them tucked directly underneath the knees. Okay, and the feet are about hip distance apart. And now we're going to go into a crab position, pushing the hips up as high as you can, squeezing the bottom, controlling all the way down. And then we're going 3 abductions. 3, 2, 1. And then rise all the way back up, squeeze through your bottom, controlling back down. So keeping the shoulders down away from our ears the whole time. And your hips, your knees should never come narrower than hip distance. And up. Control down. 3, 2, 1. Keep sitting up and out of your shoulders. Squeeze your bottom as hard as you can, and your hamstrings when you come up into your hip extension. Controlling back down. 2, 1. We have 10 more. Keep drawing your ribcage towards your hips. Five more. I definitely feel my hamstrings, the backs of my legs a lot in the hip extension here. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to roll all the way down flat on the spine. We'll just have our hands next to our hips, and we're going to go rising up with the hips into a glute bridge. Keep drawing your tailbone towards the back of the knees. And now we're going to rise up onto the toes. And abductions again. 3, 2, 1. Controlling back down. Lower the heels. Rise up. Rise onto the toes. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Lower your heels. This is our third one. 3, 1. Lower down and lower. Rise, rise. 4, Hips up as high as you can. Ooh, definitely starting to feel my glutes here. If you're not feeling your glutes at the moment, what I want you to work on is just lower halfway. Still do the leg movements. Rise, lift, 3, 2, 1. You just lower the bottom halfway and then rise back up. So you're just spending a little bit more time under tension, okay? Three, 2, 1. Rolling down through the spine, whether you're going halfway or full range. Three more. Two. Keep drawing rib cage towards your hips. And last one. Rolling all the way down. Nice work. Okay, just drop your legs from one side to the other. Have a little breather. And then we're going to flip all the way over and repeat all of that again. Now we're going to do one more round doing 16 reps of everything, and then the last round we'll do the same format that we did on the ab work. We'll halve the reps of everything, okay? So coming back over into your 4-point kneel, remember you can do your fire hydrants where one leg is alternating out to the side, or you can do the 4-point hover with just the knees, okay? So let's stack the hands directly underneath the shoulders, pushing the floor away from you, rib cage towards your hips, and we're going to use our breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, let's hover and start the abductions for 16. Let's do it. Ten more. 3, 2, and 1. Dropping it down straight into our reverse crab with our 3 abductions here. So hands facing whatever way you like, feet are hip distance apart. Remember your option, you can just stay seated and do the legs reaching away and then back in the lateral movement rather than the hip extension. Okay, if you're doing the hip extension, do it with me now. Rising up, lower down, 3, 2, 1. Sit up and out of your shoulders. So our pace is a touch quicker now on this round. But we still want to control it, especially as our hips come back down towards the floor. Six more reps here. Two more. Remember, you can break whenever you need to. Last one. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, last exercise for this round, and then we're halving everything and moving on from our banded work. Okay? So This one, remember, we're having flat feet to begin. Our hips come up, we rise up onto the toes, go out for 3, 2, 1. Lower the bottom, lower the heels. Your option, if you want to make it a touch harder, is spending more time under tension and only lower the bottom halfway. Okay, I'm going to do the halfway range after the first 2 reps of this one, okay? So I'll remind you what the full range looks like, and then I'm going into the half. Okay, getting ready. So squaring our feet up, and let's go big hip extension, coming up into our glute bridge, rising up, rise up onto the toes, and 3, 2, 1, lower the hips, lower the heels. Lift the hips, lift the heels, 3, 2, 1, lower, lower. Rise, rise, 3, 2, 1, lower, lower. So I'm halfway now. Let's keep it going. Hips up, and 3, 2, 1, lower, lower. Up, lower and lower. Ten more. Five more. Keep drawing rib cage down. Control down through the legs. It's normal to be feeling your calves here as well. Nice work, rolling all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to come all the way back up to the beginning, and let's just get 8 reps of everything done, and then we're moving on. touch wider than hip distance apart, and let's go with just the lifts, up and down. Keeping your head down. We've got a nice long line through the spine. 10. Okay, now we've got some arm rotations, staying with your eye gaze down towards the floor. So we're going to lift the hands up, lift the chest up from here, and now we're going to lift the arms up towards the ceiling, keeping your elbows straight, rotate the palms down, come back down, rotate up. We've got 4 here, 3, 4, and now we've got swan arms reaching forward and back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rotate down. 4, and 4 reaches. 3, chest is up. 2, and 1. Back to the rotations. Lift, lower, rotate. 2, 3, 4, and up and back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, have a little breather. We're going to repeat all of that one more time through, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so coming back up for our commandos, where we're walking through the elbows. You can have your knees as close to your hands as you need. Hips are coming through as much as you can, and let's go lower, lower, rise, rise. Swapping arms each time. Two more. Last one. Rolling all the way down, and let's lift the legs up, squeezing through your bottom. Your eye gaze stays down, and now we've just got the lateral movements out and in. And keeping them out, just wider than hip distance, and let's go straight up, controlling straight down to the floor. 12. Okay, extending the arms, lifting the chest, eye gaze is reaching down towards the floor. And now we're just going to rotate, rotate. Let's go 8, 7, 3, 2, 1. And now let's go swan arms. 4, 2, and 1, keeping it back to our rotates. 8, 7, 4, 3, 1, and forward. 2, 3, and 4. Nice work. Okay, let's just drop the hands down and push your hips back for a child's pose. Little stretch for our spine here. And coming all the way up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope you've been liking the format the last couple of weeks. I've changed it up a little bit. Let me know how you're finding it. I'll see you next time.